was Remain by Jay Som off of her 2017 album Everybody Works. This album's pretty great. I listened to it a bunch back in 2017. 2017 was a pretty productive year for me for listening to music. I listened to so many albums that year. But, can't listen to that many albums these days, not since I started this tournament thing out. I mean, I do listen to a ton of albums, but, it's in a very particular format. We're listening to that today because we have a Magnetic Field song from 2017 up in competition today. In fact, both of our Magnetic Field songs are from the same year, same album. Hi, my name is Bean, and you're watching Battle of the Band. We're on day 60 of the Magnetic Fields tournament today, and that is match 54 in round 2. Only 10 more matches in round 2 after today. If you're new here and you're wondering what the Magnetic Fields Part 2 tournament is, let me fill you in. We took every single song that the Magnetic Fields released from the years 2000 to 2024, and we threw them into a single elimination style tournament. Now they're doing battle and head-to-head competition until one remains in the end, and that's the very best song that the Magnetic Fields released in that 25-year time frame. The reason we're doing that specific time frame is the same reason this is the Magnetic Fields Part 2. It's that we covered the 90s stuff already, and that's Part 1. That's the first half of their discography so far, and this is the second half. Both of our songs today got buys through the last round, so it's our first time listening to them on the channel, and my first time listening to them personally. We're going to be starting off today with 71, I Think I'll Make Another World, released in 2017 on 50 Song Memoir, their 50-track album, which serves as a memoir to Stephen Merritt's life up until that point. This is track 6 on that album, so that means that this is a story of when Stephen Merritt was 6 years old, so making another world is a very 6-year-old thing to do. In the lyric booklet interview, Handler asks Stephen Merritt, I Think I'll Make Another World is one of several songs on this record that are about the isolation that you felt in childhood, which isn't really a question, it's a statement. And Stephen Merritt's statement and response was a question. Doesn't everyone think of themselves as isolated unless they have siblings or something? I had to be encouraged to talk at all, like now. I sat in a room by myself. So he had to make another world for himself. He was an only child, or if he had siblings, they were much older than him. And they didn't want to hang out with a 6-year-old. Its competition today is 95, A Serious Mistake, which is, of course, short for 1995, A Serious Mistake, which makes this much later on the album. This is track 30 on the album. So it's a story of when Stephen Merritt was 30 years old. Genius.com doesn't give us any information on this one, so we're just going to have to listen to it and see what the serious mistake was. Like I said, it's our first time listening to these songs on the channel. Let's just go ahead and get into them. Here's 71, I Think I'll Make Another World.
I think I'll make another world and fill it with whatever I want. No one can say I can or can't. I can see it now. I think I'll make another world. It may not start out very large, no one else will be in charge. I can see it now. I can see it now. And we will dance, you and I, like we were very small, through the air, through the night, and through the marble hall. No one can say that's all wrong, 'cause I'll say get out of my song. 'Cause I can see another world, and I can make it with my hands. Who cares if no one understands? I can see it now. I can see it now. Stuff I've dreamed about since I was just a zygote. The headless caryatid with her plucky seeing eye goat. No one can say that's all wrong, 'cause I can say, hey, it's my song. And I can see another world, and I can make it with my hands. Who cares if no one understands? I can see it now. I can see it growing and moving by itself and talking in its own way. It's realer than the old
All right, that was a pretty fun one. Definitely some really nice instrumentation in there, and it's definitely just kind of like a child fancying having their own world where nobody can tell them no. They can do whatever they want. It's their world. Nothing matters. It can make sense because anything can make sense. Let's check out 95, A Serious Mistake.
Although we know that someone's heart will break, hey Jake, let's make a serious mistake. And while we smile, look forward to heartache, let's undertake a serious mistake. Which one of us will it be to end this tale in misery? When will this comedy turn sour? A year, a month, a week, an hour. All we can be sure of is it will. All good things come to bad ends, but still, although we know that someone's heart will break, hey Jake, let's make a serious mistake. And while we smile, look forward to heartache, let's undertake a
All right. That one was really cool too. I love the big synthesizer lines in there mixed with I think that was a xylophone. Sounded like a xylophone kind of. I like the little interlude part of it where it's kind of I think it was a melodica, maybe it was an accordion, but it sounded like one of those. Not sure if it was a synthesized version of that or not. It sounded like we had some mixture of organic instruments with synthesizers. Uh, the vocals got drowned in noise at the end, which is always a cool feature. I love when things get drowned in noise. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and take 95, a serious mistake, into the next round with me. I think it just had a bit more of the types of things that I like with the magnetic fields. Interesting, like shout along vocals too. Like sounded like a bunch of dudes shouting along together, and I'm sure that was just a vocal effect that Stephen Merritt did because they all sounded like Stephen Merritt. But it was interesting. Like this video if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share with anyone you know who might be into this kind of content, and let me know down in the comments which of these two songs you would have chosen if it were you in the hot seat today. That's all the Magnetic Fields Part 2 tournament action we've got going for the day, but please join me in just a little bit when we get down with our The Smiths tournament action of the day. Until then, I hope you all have a great night, fantastic afternoon, and a wonderful morning. Thanks for watching. Bye.